Hi everyone, I'm Sara. I'm from Indonesia and I'm currently studying in Petra Christian University in Surabaya, the second biggest city of Indonesia, if you guys know. And currently I am studying International Business Management, and this video is actually a part of my final project. I need to post this and I need to kind of share about what have I learned about myself, what have I learned in school, what have I learned in campus, and how will I implement those things. And also I will share to you guys about my goals, which I kind of formulate from what have I learned about myself and what have I learned in campus. So let's get started. Well, first of all, I need to take 5 tests to know more about myself. The first one is about learning test. The second one is about entrepreneurship CAT test. And then the third one is Big 5 personality test. The fourth one is what are my roles in the team. And the fifth is about leadership self-assessment test. So based on my results, well, actually I'm pretty enjoying doing stuff like this. I mean, I'm taking quizzes and then answering stuff to find out what am I. I mean actually who am I and how am I can be successful and stuff like that. So based on all of this tests, actually I have realized that I am an activist person. Activist is the person who loves novelty and the person who would like to try anything. Like if you give me a task, I will definitely dedicate myself into it. And I'm kind of a practical person. I just do things. I never really plan anything out now that I think about it. Well, I pretty much hate details, so probably that's why I didn't do much planning. Activist people are, how should I say, they're very energetic and they love to take new adventure, take new risk, do anything that you possibly can do at that time frame. So I'm very dislike being in the position that I cannot freely choose what I should do. I love to get things done on my way. In the leadership assessment test, well, it seems that I need achievement, so I am very forward-looking. So I also realized that I'm very extroverted, right? And that makes me realize what will be my future job. I mean, if I am a very social person, that means I need to work somewhere. I can be social, I can meet a lot of people, I can be free and try out new things and just communicate with people, not behind the desk, doing some reports or balance sheets or plannings or strategic decision. I think I'm more to, a person you can give task to and then just implement it. And I'll find my way, my best way to implement it as good as possible. Well, it makes me come to a conclusion that after graduation, in my first years after graduation, probably I will try to work in a marketing or branding consulting company. Even though it was so much work, I also heard from my friends who've done their internships in consulting company. Well, it's actually a pretty fun and knowledgeable experience. So I would like to go there. And the good news is actually for my next year internship, I am accepted in a brand consulting company. Well, it's not big, it's a startup, but I love the thought of working there because, well, it's a startup. You can practically learn a lot from a startup, more than you learn with big companies. So I am excited to do it. So I've told you about my plan to go to a consulting company for the first year, and actually I'm planning to stay until for like 3 years or 4 years. Yeah, that is basically my plan. And in the 5th year, I'm expected to actually build my own business, build my own fashion brand. I wanted to be high couture with a friend of mine who is currently studying in Shanghai. Well, that's pretty much, how I think about how my future will go. And now I want to share to you about what have I learned in school that really changed my life. Got some classes from Professor Dr. Casey Chen. He's from Singapore. He usually lives in Singapore, but he comes for every week and so. And then actually he taught me a lot and my friends a lot about how to think. Basically what he taught us is about how to think holistically. Well, how to see everything from every side, how to actually analyze everything based on every side possible, collecting every information possible and make it simple and make it very comprehensive, which analyzes result can be used for strategic decisions or for problem solving. Actually, in my opinion, outside all of case studies, outside the task that he been given to me, well, actually all of his teachings, such as frameworks that he's using, is pretty much can be implemented in everything. All because it really offers a comprehensive way of thinking. And I'm gonna give you 3 examples on how I use his frameworks into life. Well, first of all, he gave us a Venn diagram that just a circle, which I'm gonna show you later on in the video, is pretty much consisted of what, why, and how. And I use it a lot nowadays. When I face a problem, I kind of try to identify clearly about what is the problem, why is this problem occurring, and how can I solve it. And by doing so, actually by implementing this kind of thinking, I am able to get on the surface of my problem pretty quickly. And then after that, like if I want to do something that is not useful, or if I am faced by certain problems that is not useful, always ask 5 whys. Why is this happening? Why? And if you can get all of the answers right, that means, well, your job is pretty much already started. You already able to figure out what are the strong factors that affected your decisions or affect your problems, etc. And basically because I always ask what, why, how, and I always doubt and I always ask whys, and I always search for not only the benefits but also the risk of all things possible. Well, it makes me kind of a better person that way, because I'm usually being too positive, but now, well, I am able to see the risk, and I'm also able to see what are the possible outcomes that I might get, and what are the possible ways to mitigate the risk. Well, for me, it doesn't relate to planning and doesn't really do a lot of thinking. It's helping. It's very helping. So, first of all, I'm able to get into my internship because of that. Because I am, before I came to the interview, because I'm trying to see from the business perspective, why would they hire me? And like if I am being hired by them, what can I do to make them being more competitive rather than with their competitors? Well, to do that, I study what are their competitors, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and then what are their threats and opportunities. And then after that, I kind of formulate the strategies along. So when I'm being asked on the interviews, what can I contribute? I actually has already contributed some insights and my analysis, and that is actually an amazing opportunity. Well, probably it sounded not really a big deal, but I kind of take it as my stepping stone for later on if I want to work in Jakarta or in other big cities such as Singapore or Hong Kong. Well, for me to be able to be accepted because of my analysis, well, that's a pretty good achievement for me. And then after that, I also, the second is I also win international, I also win just recently with my team. In Hong Kong, there's an international business case study. It's called IBD competition, case competition 2014, and I believe that I can win that my team can win that is because we applied Professor Dr. Skezi Chan thinking to always think of a case study, always see things from wider perspective, and always dump everything, and always find the facts. And then the third one is actually the holistic thinking and helicopter view is made me think a lot about my future because it helps me to be aware about myself, and from that awareness how to align it with all the knowledge that I have, and then how to put it into actions. What are my action plans? And after that, how to put my action plan into the real adoption plan. And then after that, I must know what are the benefits that I get, are the risks that I might have to mitigate in the future. And then after that, I also need to develop myself using my balance scorecard. That's what business people call it. Well, yeah, kind of evaluate myself whether this action plan, this whatever I was trying to do with my future plan, my adoption plan is actually working out or not. From someone who cannot plan at all, someone who just loves to do it and doesn't want to do anything in details or know more and about anything in details in order to solve a problem or take a decision. Well, now I have changed. I have become someone who are more calculative about the risk, and now I know what are important things that I need to know. Well, actually I've learned a lot, obviously, but for this video that's all. I mean, if you have any questions, you can ask me directly. And this may be my first and last video in YouTube, so don't bother subscribing to my channel or anything. But thank you very much for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye bye.